Game 6 with our producer Kevin Smolin, director John Gonzalez, Tom Hammond, Bill Walton, Steve Snapper Jones, Jim Gray, ready for quarter number 4 in game number 6. The Pacers with that 12-point low after in Game 5 the Knicks had an all-time low, 8 points in their second quarter of Game 5. And this is the time that the veterans, the Patrick Ewings, the Reggie Millers, make their presence known with the game and perhaps a title on the line.
Larry Bird can't believe that wasn't called traveling.
Houston back out to Sprewell for 3.
Well, Patrick Ewing and Sprewell played the entire quarter. They were the offensive energy that got them back in the ball game. We'll see how long they go. Foul, Allen Houston.
Sprewell is not coming out of this game. It could go 5 overtimes and he would still be out there.
Sprewell. And the crowd exploding as he knocked in the three-pointer to open the fourth quarter, giving the Knicks a 3-point lead, his 26th point of the game.
How long is Larry Bird going to go with Jalen Rose on the bench, who has yet to score in the second half?
Camby thought he got a clean block of Austin Crozier, but instead Marcus is called for his second foul.
Well, he's an activity player much like Marcus Camby. They left him open. They paid more attention to him. He's not been able to shake it loose.
Austin Crozier's got a stroke. He has some moves. Marcus Camby yet to develop those in his early part of his career.
Ewing is fouled with 11:01 on the clock. Sprewell's letting it go. That one hit the back iron, and Austin Crozier hauls it down.
It's great that Austin Crozier is starting to show some signs of contributing.
Miller.
Kyle's got 4 fouls.
And Miller shoots at 3. Reggie Miller. We called for a Miller explosion if Indiana was to win on the road and record the first road victory of this series, and he has 20 points.
Now that was automatic. As soon as he looked up and saw Chris Childs, he was letting that one go.
Indiana by 2. Sprewell needs some help.
They're starting to stand, and that's what gets him in trouble.
4 to shoot.
Great closeout, Travis Best.
Childs, Best took it away. Shot clock violation. Good defense by the Indiana Pacers.
Miller that made just enough to keep him in the ball game, and now he's thinking Miller time. Let's go down to Jim Gray.
Larry Bird, who was the best at controlling tempo by getting to the free throw line himself. The Pacers in the first quarter were a perfect 8 for 8 from the line. Since that time, until these 2 free throws by Travis Best, the Pacers were only 4 for 7. Not getting to the line at all in the second and third quarters, Indiana.
They lead by 4, 69-65.
Turnovers is what will get the Knicks in a hole. They're down 4 points, and they've got to be good every time. Ewing gone to the bench for the first time in the second half.
A dozen turnovers committed by New York.
Sprewell's got a tough matchup trying to guard McKee.
Perkins misses a 3. He can make that shot fairly regularly, but that one would not go down, and New York has it back.
Guys from Alabama going at each other. Sprewell with a quick shot, and when they get a quick shot like that, they're not going to get the chance to get the rebound, and that's what Van Gundy's telling guys. Calm down. You don't have to win the game all in 1 minute.
But it can't just be Latrell Sprewell. Marcus Camby has done very little tonight. Same for Larry Johnson.
Miller for 3.
Timeout, Van Gundy. He's seen enough. The defensive strategy breaking down for New York.
Well, you knew it was only a matter of time before Reggie Miller would do his Knick-killing act once more. Indiana's on a 10-0 run. Reggie Miller has scored 14 of Indiana's second half points. And Indiana is up 72-65. Newsflash, sometimes NBA players pay no attention. One of the chief offenders of that was Larry Bird, if I recall.
The Pacers on a 10-0 run, but we saw it in the Portland Laker game when Phil Jackson told him no more threes.
Charlie Ward, the shot clock was running down. He had to shoot it and shot one of the tougher shots of the night to get his 4th point, his first field goal.
Now he's got to play some defense, or at least somebody does, on Travis Best.
Well, they switch off now. When Miller looks at this, he's going to let this go. He's not going to give this ball up. And now Marcus Camby trying to come over and help.
Ward pushing for New York.
He had a mismatch with Perkins. He should have been looking to just blow right by him.
Perkins can shut that down at will.
Here's Ewing against Perkins. And he'll shoot 2 free throws. Sam committing the foul.
And they switch, and that forces Charlie Ward to guard Reggie Miller.
Crowd trying to lift New York with 6:17 remaining. Indiana has the ball. They have 8 to shoot. Miller against Sprewell. Steps back and delivers another 3. Reggie Miller with another dagger, darting back behind the three-point line and knocking it down. He has 26 against the team he says he hates, the team they had to beat to get to the finals.
His focus, his concentration in the zone, clearly at this point, get him the ball every time down.
Patrick Ewing.
Tough shot.
And
Larry Johnson
fouls, knocking it away from Dale Davis. Actually,
that's a good idea.
Reggie Miller has not been a real terrific factor in the series until now, and last year was not a big factor as New York beat Indiana. But here he is again doing his Knick defeating act at the Garden, for which he has become so famous.
Looking at Miller.
Why not? He'll shoot 2, and he is only the second best free throw shooter in the league.
For a switch, making the defense react. Miller with 10 on the clock.
Houston back defending him. And Reggie misses that shot, but an offensive rebound by Rose, then taken away by Charlie Ward. Ward is trying to single-handedly bring the Knicks back with every hustle play he can make.
Long rebounds and loose balls. It's been the determining factor in virtually every one of these games.
Well, they're trying to get the ball to Allen Houston. They're trying to make it happen. He's got to shoot. He can't think pass, and it turns into a turnover.
In this fourth quarter, Reggie Miller alone has outscored the Knicks 11-8.
They step out Larry Johnson. This guy's got too much ability.
Travis Best.
When you let Best dance like that, that's when you get in trouble. You got 4 minutes to go, 15 on the shot clock for Sprewell and New York.
Ewing made the good fake and drew the foul. Patrick Ewing back to the line. Trouble is, he's been hitting the first and missing the second on recent trips to the stripe.
When you finally
I don't want to hear about odds. I want to hear about ball players.
Well, 3 previous occasions, Indiana needed only 1 victory to advance to the finals, and they failed to do so all 3 times. Here's Ward for 3. Kept alive by Ewing for a moment before the sure hands of Dale Davis squeeze it. And he has 16 rebounds, which has been his magic number throughout this series.
Here's the double team by Larry Johnson. But still not enough to make Travis Best give it up. What a clever ball handler.
Well, the Knicks are going to need a miracle right now because they're not controlling anything. Tough shot.
Make him pass. Jackson up off the bench. The first one, the guy who Travis Best put to the bench. Mark is there to encourage and support Travis Best.
54 now counting down. And the Indiana Pacers 3 times the champion in the old ABA, looking to advance to their first NBA Finals.
But who's on top of their game for the Knicks if they're going to pull up a miraculous comeback? Sam Perkins, great defense.
Their defensive attitude is really stepped up. They have to come back to Ewing. They get nothing inside.
Ewing has been taken out of the ball game now as Van Gundy is looking for long-range offense. But Patrick Ewing, even at the age of 37, is still one of the top 4 centers in the NBA, along with Shaq, David Robinson, and Alonzo Mourning.
Sprewell a 3-point opportunity. Patrick apparently done for the night with 18 points, 12 rebounds in 38 minutes.
Breakdown, and the Pacers are just not going to give it to the Knicks. And, you know, it's one of those deals where it's too little, too late for Larry Johnson and New York.
They needed a couple of those 4-point plays.
You got to bring that stuff early in the game.
The free throw line.
Well, Jeff Van Gundy looked up at the clock, and I think he's going to call off the fouling now. He knows that there is absolutely nothing they can do. Jackson and Bird exchange hugs, and you know, that's the joy right there. They're saying that's what we're talking about. That's what we came here to do.
And how great is this for Mark Jackson, who played here, grew up here, Rookie of the Year for the New York Knicks. They said he wasn't good enough anymore after teaming with Patrick Ewing for some great years.
And he said he wanted to dance on the Garden floor tonight, and he can do his dance. Larry Bird prohibited that little shimmy, but I think he can probably do it tonight if he wants, as Reggie Miller's point total continues. He started with 5 points in the first, got 4 in the second, 8 in the third, and then it was Miller time. 17 in the fourth quarter, 34 in the game.
Mark Jackson told us before the game that the biggest road victory of his entire life came in Game 7 in '95 when they won here, when Ewing missed the layup. Dale Davis got the rebound. This supplants that as the greatest road victory in Mark Jackson's legendary basketball career.
First road victory for either team in this series all season long. The 5th conference final that Indiana has been in. They lost the previous 4 twice to the Knicks. And the shot clock expires, and they'll turn it back to New York with 9.7.
The laughter for Dale Davis. How hard he's worked, pounding the boards. Never gets any credit. Finally got the respect this year as he made his first All-Star team, Dale Davis, ever.
Just a personal note, it's been fun this season, guys. Had a great time as the final seconds tick away.
As always, Tom, thank you. Congratulations to the Indiana Pacers. Well deserved. The best team all year. They proved it during the regular season and during the playoffs in the Eastern Conference.
So the final score, 93-80. The Indiana Pacers on their way to the NBA Finals for the first time in their history. Contributed by their star, Reggie Miller. Another long walk for Patrick Ewing as the Indiana Pacers celebrate their first Eastern Conference championship. Let's go to Jim Gray.
All right, thank you very much, Tom. I'm here with Reggie Miller. Reggie, after 4 tries to finally make it to the finals, what's going through your mind and your thoughts right now?
This is special. I mean, you know, we've always fought and they always get to the conference finals and lose twice against New York and Chicago and Orlando. And to finally have another opportunity to get here, and, you know, I told the guys before the game, if the league called you up and asked you, you only had to play 1 game and you can pick the spot where you want to play, and if you win that game, you get to move on to the finals, would you take it and where would you want to play? And everyone in unison said, the Knicks in the Garden, and let's go for it.
And the Knicks and the Garden. Tell me about that, to finally beat this team, a team that you have said, quite frankly, you hate.
Well, I might dislike them and sometimes hate them, but I have so much respect for New York and the New York fans. It's always been tough to play here. We knew coming in it was going to be physical. And like I said, we had to exercise some demons. And like I said, some teams have
Does this eliminate the disappointments of the past?
Oh, we finally get to move on, so I would say yeah. But this is just so sweet because everyone chipped in tonight and played well. My God, this is beautiful.
All right, Reggie, congratulations to you. We look forward to seeing the final.
We're coming.
All right, back over to you, Tom Hammond.
Thank you, Jim. So Indiana wins Game 6, 93-80. We'll hear from the Knicks at halftime of the second game, the Western Conference Finals.
I got a confession. I possess the God particle. Lock me up for possession. Your relationship with God should be great for proper protection. If I am to show and prove, ain't no need to ask me no question. The segregation real, you should probably stay in your section.